Friends, welcome back to another video. So happy to have you here. As you can see by the title of the video, this video is going to prepare you for your Hagwon interview. I think someone in the comments asked me a while ago, so I decided to do the video. I know how scary it can be, but I'm gonna help you out. It's not that difficult. Yeah, so you have all your documents, you've been emailing recruiters, you've sent out your CVs, and your recruiter has got you an interview. Now what? First of all, watch as many of these videos as you can. What I did was I watched, I think, like 10 videos of like different people sharing what their interview questions were and how their interviews were and their tips, and I gathered like I think 10 questions that I kept on hearing over and over and over again. I gathered those questions, I wrote them down, and I wrote down the exact answers that I would say, and I practiced those answers. What you don't want to do is go in there blindly, because it's like a nerve-wracking situation. If you go there blindly, they're going to hit you with questions that you don't know how to answer. You're going to stumble, and it's going to be a mess. So prepare. Write down 10 questions that you keep on hearing from videos like these. Write down the questions, write down your answers, and recite your answers, so that when the questions asked, you're not like, it's basically like a prepared speech. As I said, number one, prepare. Number two, everything that's written on your CV, you need to be able to explain that. I feel like this is like any interview for any job, but you need to be able to explain every single thing on your CV. Yeah, okay, that's all. Let us get into the actual questions. Before we get into the questions, I had 2 interviews, right, before I came here. 2 interviews. The first one, really short and sweet. The lady was unprepared. What happened was I emailed my recruiter, and within like 20 minutes I got that first interview. So I'm guessing the lady said to me, I'm not prepared because your recruiter emailed me and she said, I have this job for you, you have to interview her. And that's basically what happened. So when she did the interview, she was unprepared with like the questions she wanted to ask, and it was a very informal, very friendly interview. So no questions from there. So I didn't get any questions from there. But what I did get from that interview was, as soon as that Zoom comes on, the Zoom or the Skype or whatever, as soon as it comes on, your vibe, your disposition needs to be like this. It needs to be like, hi, nice to meet you. Because like at the end of the day, you're a teacher, you're working with kids. That's the type of person they want. They want a bubbly person. I'm not saying like fake a personality, but you need to like come off really friendly. And I was nervous, but that's what I did. I came off friendly and I came off confident. Within like 2 minutes of the interview, she was like, I'm unprepared, but like I really like you, so I'm gonna send you the contract, I'm gonna send you this video and this and this and this and this and this, because I really like you. And I was like, good shot. Literally, not because of my answers, again, because she didn't ask me a lot, but because of like my vibe. I was friendly, I was bubbly, I was like really smiley, you know, and things like that. So that's what I carried into my next interview. Now this next interview, it was long, it was serious, it was like night and day compared to the first interview. But because I prepared, I killed it. So let's get into the questions now. Question 1 that they are definitely going to ask you is, tell us about yourself. And tell us about yourself doesn't necessarily mean your personality. They're basically saying, explain to us your academic and like career achievements. So this is exactly what I said. Obviously you are going to tailor your answer to your personal like experiences, but this is exactly or basically what I said. I was like, yeah, so my name is Tracy. I was born and raised in Johannesburg, South Africa. I am 23 years old. I studied law at the University of the Free State, and then I went on to study, what did I say? Oh, then I went on to study my master's in commercial law, which is what I'm busy with now. And yeah, and then also if you have any experience, any job experience, that's what I also do. That's what I also like mentioned. And I was like, yeah, and I have some experience, you know, working with kids. I was a Sunday school teacher from this time to this time. And then I also like, I went into depth, like explaining what I did, because that was the only thing that tied me. That was the only thing that gave me like experience with like working with kids. My phone stopped recording. I think what I was saying was, before I had my interviews, I had like a short interview with my recruiter for her to basically like get to know me, get to know what I wanted. And she also asked me the question, tell me about yourself. So when I was telling her about myself, I mentioned, before I mentioned like working with kids, my experience working with kids, I prefaced it by saying, oh, I don't have any like formal experience with working with kids, but I did teach Sunday school. And she was like, do not start with I don't have any formal experience. Just say I have experience working with kids and this and this and this and this and this. So that's an important thing. If you have any experience, formal or not, like do not downplay it. Okay, sorry, I had to say that. So yeah, tell us about yourself, who you are, born and raised, what you studied, and any experience that you have. Then second question, this one threw me off because it's like, I just told you about myself, why are you making me say more about myself? But my second question was, if the people around you, I think they said either if the people around you or you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would those 3 words be? I said God. But you know, I hadn't prepared this question, but I was like, okay, so if they ask you this question, don't just say, oh, I'm responsible, I'm hardworking, I'm adaptable. Say I'm responsible, explain why you are responsible. Say I'm adaptable, explain why people think you are adaptable. Say the word and explain why. So I think I said A, reliable. Okay, I said I think the people around me would say I'm reliable. You know, I am there when they need me. I'm always willing to like lend a helping hand if anyone needs me for anything, and you know, I'm a person that you can count on. I think the other word I said was I'm respectful. What the hell did I say? Respectful. Okay, I think I was like, yeah, I'm respectful. Respect is one of like my core values. You know, I believe in respecting people, no matter who they are, things like that. Another word you can use, like adaptability. You know, I'm a very adaptable person. And then I used COVID as like my reasoning. I was like, I remember during COVID, a lot of things were unpredictable and we had to change our lifestyles, we had to change our lives. I was at school during that. I had to like adapt to learning online, adapt to writing exams online, adapt to things quickly. And I think that's one thing that can help me in this line of work as well. Again, always try to like connect whatever you're saying to the job. And trust me, adaptability is an important thing when you're working in like a Hagwon, because they will spring things on you so quickly. They will change schedules, they will change material, and you have to be like on it. So that was one thing. And obviously I think I said organized. I'm a very organized person. I think I said hardworking. You know, I believe hard work is like the key to success, you know, things like that. Hard work is the key to success. It will get you where money and things can't get you, anything like that. I don't remember the words that I said, but choose a word that describes you and explain why that word describes you. Okay. Third question was, why South Korea? Why did you choose South Korea? Why do you want to come to South Korea? I would stay away from saying things like I love K-pop or I'm a K-pop fan, or you know, things like that. What I said was, oh, you know, when I was researching and I was starting this journey, I had the options of going to China, I was looking at Japan, I was looking at Cambodia, Thailand, all these other countries, and South Korea really aligned with my values of like education. I know South Korea takes education very seriously, and so do I. I think it's important. I think it's the key to success. I think there is so much that you can do with education. So again, like, I tried to connect it. I wasn't like, I like K-pop, or I think Korea is futuristic, or I think Korea is great. I was like, the education system is something that aligns with my values. The teaching management, or the teaching style, is something that aligns with my values, and I like the culture as well. I think Korea is very beautiful. I think the culture is beautiful. I can't wait to taste the different foods. I can't wait to experience Korea as a whole. I've heard that Koreans are very respectful people, and again, that's something that I take very seriously. It's something, respect is something that is very important to me. So I think I would do well in a country like Korea. It aligns most with my personality. Okay, see, easy. Next question. Oh, next question was now in the classroom. They asked me, so how would you deal with behavioral issues in the classroom? How would you deal with a child misbehaving in the classroom? And I said, well, first of all, I think I would ask another Korean teacher, or any teacher who has been there longer than me, or anyone in the school, how they best prefer to deal with behavioral issues, and how, because I'm sure there are systems and like procedures put in place that work already, because you know, I wouldn't want to do anything that might offend anyone, or that might be, because you know, cultural differences and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I would probably ask another Korean teacher how they best deal with behavioral issues. But what's most important to me is establishing respect in the classroom, so the children know that there is a time to have fun and laugh and play, but there's a time to work, and when it's time to work, it's time to work. And you need to respect me as your teacher. You need to respect the other students as your peers as well. That is what I said. Okay, question 5. Oh, they were like, yeah, you're coming so far, you're coming alone. They assumed, okay, you're coming alone, right? And I was like, yes. They was like, and then they asked, so how would you handle like loneliness and feeling homesick? I studied 5 hours away from Joburg. I studied in the Free State. So I was like, oh, this wouldn't be my first time being away from home. When I went to university, I went far away because I wanted to be independent. So I feel like I am generally an independent person, and I handle being alone quite well. But also I do think it's important to create, you know, a community. I know that there are some South Africans here, and I intend to like befriend them, you know, create a community, be part of that community, because I know that it can get lonely. Have I done that? No, of course not, but that is how I answered that question. Number 6. Oh, number 6 was, again, this wasn't a question that I heard in any like preparation videos, but they asked me, so basically, as you know, like kids are very energetic, and they were like, this is probably something that you experienced with like the Sunday school kids that you teach. Kids are very energetic. They're very like full of energy, and sometimes that can be draining. So like, how would you handle that? How would you handle like possible burnout? And I was like, oh, to be fair, you know, when I teach kids and when I'm around kids, their energy sort of boosts me and gives me energy and makes me want to like do more and give more. And I think, you know, that's what kids deserve at the end of the day. You know, they're there to learn. They deserve an energetic teacher. So that's why I think it's important to just like rest, especially on weekends. Like, take that time to myself, rest, so that when I come back on Monday, I'm like fully refreshed and I'm like ready to give them my energy. Yeah. Next question was, so you know, you did your TEFL certificates. What was the most notable thing that you learned there, or what was the one takeaway that you took from your TEFL certificate? And I said, I was like, oh, it was very interesting to learn about like the fact that children have different learning styles, and because obviously the TEFL will give you like examples and tips on how to implement other learning styles. So I was like, yeah, it was interesting to learn the many different teaching styles that you can use to like teach the kids, because not everyone is a visual learner or a verbal learner. You know, kids learn differently. So I picked up a my phone keeps stopping because it's overheating. I'm going to try and finish this as quickly as I can, because now I'm forgetting what I was saying. Yeah, learn what I learned from TEFL. Another question that I forgot to write down that they are probably going to ask you is why teaching, especially if your degree is not related to teaching. They're gonna ask, why do you want to be a teacher, babes? Like, do you want to come here because you want to party and have a good time, or are you actually going to do the job? So for me, this one was super easy. I've always wanted to be a teacher, so I just explained to them that, like, to be honest, to be fair, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I've always been passionate about teaching. English specifically has always been like my favorite subject. The reason that I studied law and not teaching was because my parents wanted me to be a lawyer, so that's what I studied. So as soon as I heard that there was an opportunity like this to teach English in Asia, I took it. So yeah, that was my answer. Obviously your answer is going to be different. Maybe you can say you want to experience, I don't know, you want to experience something else, you want to, you know, change your field, you want to work with kids, you enjoy working with kids. Whatever is true for you and whatever makes sense to you. And then at the end of the interview, they are going to ask you, so do you have any questions for us, any concerns, you know, anything you'd like to know? You have to ask them questions. A, it's going to tell them that you are interested. B, it's going to show them that you're interested and you're like serious about this. So I asked them 3 questions and I was like, oh, okay, if I were to get this job, like, what does a typical day in the life of a teacher at your school look like? Okay. And then they explained to me, you know, you have this many classes, this many hours, da 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 da. Second question I asked, okay, then in terms of the curriculum, do you guys have a set curriculum with like set textbooks and set materials, or is that something that I am going to have freedom in? Again, like, how much freedom do I have with the set curriculum, you know, things like that. Try and find out like how it works, what you're going to be teaching. And I also asked them, like, what does the curriculum look like, what are you guys teaching? And then they explained to me like the different subjects that they teach. The third question I asked them, I think this is like a really good question. I feel like schools like this question. They were like, oh, I was like, okay, so like if you were to like explain the perfect teacher for this position, like what would that teacher look like? What characters and qualities does that teacher have? So they told me, they just want someone hardworking, someone organized, someone flexible, someone blah blah blah, whatever they wanted. And as they were telling me who they wanted, I was like, okay. I was nodding my life away because I was like, that's me, that's me. In case you were like still worried, that's me. So yeah, guys, a few hours later they contacted me. They were like, here's your contract. Oh, and if you want to ask anything like in terms of the like contract, in terms of the apartment, I asked all of those things after I got the job, obviously. But you can ask things like, oh, how far away is the school from the apartment? What does the apartment look like? Does the apartment come with a bed? You know, things like that. You also deserve to like know those things before you commit. So yeah, guys, I hope this helped you. Just prepare. If you got an interview, you will be fine. You just need to prepare. You need to come, be very friendly, but be very confident and prepared. Like, if you got the interview, they probably like you. You just need to like put a stamp and like prove yourself to them. So yeah, as always, you guys know, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. And yeah, happy Chuseok. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.